First up on Outside Television's Thrill Seekers, North Carolina, the home of one of the world's most popular spectator sports, NASCAR, and the home of the multi-talented Sprint Cup driver Max Papis.
I'm Max Papis. I was born in Como, Italy, north side of Italy, and my passion for the sport started a long time ago. I started racing initially locally only because that's what we could afford, and I was still a young kid. Back in the day, starting at 11, 12 years old, that was the earliest you could run. I raced karting from 12 years old all the way to 19 years old, and I was able to go racing World Championship, European Championship, raced in Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, and traveled the world, just to be able to, pursue my goal and my dream, and that was pretty special. I got more and more of an interest in soccer racing from the end of 2002 onwards, and when I got to understand what soccer racing was, I really wanted to be in it. It happened one day that I was in the right spot at the right time, and I got the opportunity to drive the Geico Toyota, and I got offered the chance of being able to be in the Sprint Cup Series, and I jumped at it, both hands and feet, and knowing that was going to be a difficult challenge, and it definitely showed that is the toughest challenge of my life. Soccer racing is very different than anything I've done before. I raced maybe 40, 50 ovals in open wheel racing, and actually winning my first ever race in a champ car in an oval in Miami Homestead Speedway. But what that teaches you about ovals is just where the bathrooms are and where the entrance of the racetrack is. Because when you go and drive a stock car on the same racetrack, it's just like a different experience. Soccer racing, you need to be tough, you need to know how to use the car, you need to have a lot of experience. There is no data, no number, no computer that you can go back and look and compare and see, and that's why the learning process is difficult, it's long, and the experience of the driver and the team are invaluable. It's something that you can't buy. In a NASCAR team, everyone thinks that maybe the driver is the pinnacle, but I'm just a quarterback. I need all the people around me to be able to make my job easier, and it's very much like a team sport, a lot more than what people think. From all the components, everyone who works in the shop, to the two key people in the garage. That is the crew chief, Buddy Barker, and my engineer, Scott Whitehead. Those guys are, especially Buddy, is the ultimate responsible of performance. I always say, the relationship that you have with your crew chief is almost like the relationship you have with your wife. He's a psychologist, he is a technical guy, he needs to know which question to ask, because you always get the right answer to the question you ask. And being able to read between the lines, between my comments, and trying to maximize the car. And sometimes maximizing the car means changing the ride of the car by 36 of an inch can make the whole difference, can make you win or lose the race.
definitely take your driver's input, or you try to know your driver's tendencies when you are setting up your car. But as far as the decisions that are made, we share information with MWR, so you have teammates, and you take your collective reasoning, the things you want to do. You look at all of their ideas, you take your own ideas, you try to mesh all of those things with the tendencies your driver has, and you put something together each week that you think is going to work. Max's support team consists of, let's say, at least 10 to 15 road guys. Then you have another 7 to 8 over-the-wall guys, and then your shop crew. So let's say directly 40 guys and indirectly over 100.
Greg Osborne, I'm the car chief of the number 13 Geico Camry. We're currently getting our Charlotte car ready. It's just about done. We're going through our final inspection. We call it our nut and bolt list. Up front here we have our engine compartment. Our motorman Brian Smith will be going over this shortly, checking it all over, making sure we're good. Our front suspension mechanic Clint Almquist he'll be checking over all our A-frames and brakes and spindles, make sure that's all proper, ready to hit the racetrack, so we don't have any issues. Inside you'll see our seat. It's carbon fiber. You'll see the necessary safety equipment such as the seat belts, the foam insert, the fire bottles, the switches on the dash, the gauges. Back here in the trunk, it's a cable-driven fuel pump. There's a nozzle down there. You can see the red nozzle. It's for the fire bottle. If you get into the wall and this catches on fire, that wax will melt and it'll set that fire bottle off. Hopefully keep everybody safe. One of the questions we get a lot from race fans is about our tires. They see them with grooves in them at the racetrack, and they wonder if they're rain tires or what they're for. We do not run in the rain. These are our setup tires. NASCAR controls all the tires that we use, and we're not allowed to bring anything home from the race events. They keep whatever we use. Used ones, they drill holes in their scrap, they get recycled. The new ones that are left over, they keep in an inventory, but they provide us with setup tires. They put grooves in them so that we can't use them, and it signifies that they're for setting up only. We use them for scaling, setting the heights on the car, basically doing our whole setup on them.
As much as it looks like that it's just me in the car, there are hundreds of people behind, from the people building the car, the people driving the truck, my mechanics putting the car together, to again, Scott and Booty, that they are almost not perceptive, but they make that 2/10 of a second that at the end of the day it makes 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and is the difference between winning and losing.
I think we'll definitely remain in racing when Max's career is over. I don't like to think of it as over. I think it's just going to be a continuation of what he's done. We've met so many people and have done so many things. Like right now we have we sell Momo steering wheels to all the NASCAR drivers, stock car drivers and teams. We have the exclusive right to that, so we'll do something like that. I'd also like to maybe get my master's in psychology, which I've studied, and then hopefully Max and I can do something with that, because Max loves kids and loves taking care of people too. So I'd like to kind of change things a little bit and focus on that. And then hopefully one day we can just travel. And I know we travel so much now, but it'd be good to travel for a vacation and not to a race, because we go to lots of airports, but they're not for vacation. And it'd be cool to see the world in a different way and just go for pleasure.